Each year, 1.3 million people worldwide will be diagnosed with gastric and esophageal cancer, with little hope for survival. It affects every race, gender, and ethnicity. It's time to change the tide.
Hereditary diffuse gastric cancer is an inherited condition, gives you a high risk of getting stomach cancer, other cancers including lobular breast cancer. I've lost 10 family members. I lost my grandmother, my father, my sister, 2 aunts, 2 uncles, and 4 cousins to this disease. Very little has improved in the treatment and prognosis for both gastric and esophageal cancer. 30 years passed from the time my father had died to when my sister got sick, and she had no better chance of survival than he did.
About 85% of stomach cancers occur just by random chance. About 15% of stomach cancers run in the families or are hereditary. And of that 15%, about 3 to 5% are this entity, hereditary diffuse gastric cancer. So people with hereditary diffuse gastric cancer have a family history of developing gastric cancer. And recently, in the last 7 to 10 years, a gene has been identified that is the cause of this illness.
What my family has is rare, but stomach and esophageal cancer are not rare. Stomach cancer is the number 2 cancer killer in the world. It rates above breast cancer. 35,000 people in the United States are affected by gastric and esophageal cancer.
The diagnosis for gastric and esophageal cancer is pretty serious. Despite all the advances with new drugs and targeted agents, we're still sort of at a threshold of about a year survival for advanced disease. And so, the future really needs to be in understanding the biology of the disease so that we can better target the treatment accordingly.
When I found out I was negative for the gene that causes stomach cancer in our family, I had a huge sense of relief, but I also had a huge sense of responsibility. I knew that I was the only one left that could fight the fight for this disease to wipe it out. Everyone's at risk for gastric and esophageal cancer. Right now, they don't know who it affects, why it affects them, and how to prevent it. That's why we need research.
The future of this disease is to understand the biology so we can better treat these patients. I think the sad thing is that of the 900,000 people who are diagnosed every year, they're all treated with the same drugs. They have different biology, different epidemiology, and so there's no reason why they should be treated the same way. So as we understand that better, then we'll be able to tailor therapy better so we can minimize side effects and maximize benefit.
The mission of the DiGregorio Family Foundation is to provide resources so that the researchers can find out enough information about gastric and esophageal cancer so that they can prevent it, diagnose it earlier, and have standard treatment options. One of the big accomplishments of the DiGregorio Family Foundation is we funded an early onset and familial gastric cancer registry at Memorial Sloan Kettering. They've also opened the center at Queens Cancer Center and have the hopes they'll open up other registries throughout the United States as well as abroad. These centers collect DNA and family information for people at risk with the hopes that one day this information will better inform us of the cause of this disease and who would be at risk.
Funding is very vital for continued research in this disease. Without the funding, then the research won't get done, and then we'll be stuck where we are, which is not in a great place. I am confident that we will make a difference with the DiGregorio Foundation and with the research that we're doing. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't think that we were going to be successful eventually. We are making progress, and I think with additional funding and with additional support and collaborative research efforts, I think we'll make great progress.
My hope for the DiGregorio Family Foundation is that one day we have survivors here asking for funds to continue research, and that we improve the prognosis, diagnosis, and prevention of this disease.
Help us change the diagnosis of stomach and esophageal cancer to one of hope and possibilities. and finally change the tide.